You're correct. Your hands are too low, but your posture's bad. We're going to work on strengthening your back muscles and try to stand a little bit better. I wouldn't do it consciously because your muscles aren't ready to do it yet. But, you know, so in this setup position, the ball's way too far back for an 8-iron for you because you come too far from in to out. So you need the ball forward in your stance, about an inch inside your left heel. That'll fix your path problem. It'll come more down the line. When you take the club back, what I'm looking for is how much movement you have side to side, up and down, and laterally. There's a little bit of lateral shift here. I'm not a big fan of that. I would turn the right foot in. Everything I'm saying is recorded, but that's a lateral movement off the ball. I don't like that. That's a power leak. And then you get a decent turn, but I wouldn't call it a good turn. I'd call it an average turn.
I would tell you this, that you know, looking at videos from 2008,
yeah,
my swing's definitely shorter.
Yeah, it's short. It's too short. I'd like to get it longer arm swing. And this little move right here, you've had that since day one, I'm sure.
Well, it's more pronounced now.
You got nice lag, so you're very efficient. This is not a swing that has, but you don't use the ground. You don't have any vertical force. You don't push through the ground. There's no pushing up through the ground when you swing. What you have to learn how to do is use the ground and push up this direction from the ball of your left foot. You got to learn to use your lower body in the proper way. There's 3 forces in golf. There's lateral force, rotational force, and vertical force. You only use lateral force is not a power. You have a lot of lateral force, and that's not a power accumulator. You're not going to get any power from lateral shift. The only force is rotational speed and vertical force and pushing up. Those are and how fast you swing your arms. So you don't have a fast arm swing, you don't push up from the ground, and you don't have fast hips. So you're not going to get a lot of speed. No, not at all. But I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you generate lag. This is awesome. You have got stored energy there. You have to increase your arm speed. You have to get a little bit more rotation, and you got to get more verticals. You can do both. You can push up from the ground. Your left leg should be locked at impact. Is that locked? No.
That's something, Jim, I've seen in recent videos that I didn't see before.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, you know, it's good right now, but I had a bad back a couple years ago.
Yeah, I got a bad back too.
And it seems like since that time...
There's my setup. I prefer that setup. I'd like to see the shaft run right through the belt. I'd like to see the club go back on plane, which you do. I'd like to see the club get that far back. That's not a long backswing, but that's longer than yours. Where are you? Well, let's take a look. I don't think you get it back as far as I do. And I got a short swing. I wish my swing was a little bit longer. Your club's across the line. That's going to go away under me. You can't play from there.
Okay, I got it, but let me just tell you, all the videos I've ever seen, I've been there.
Well, that's because no one's taught you how to get it in another place. Now, the good news for you is you corner. Your club works to the left, and the shaft, that means you can turn your chest. You can rotate. That's good. But we can fix your takeaway. The face is shut. That's fine. I don't really care. That's an on-top takeaway. But you got to change how you cock your wrist. Your shaft has to hinge on a more horizontal plane. That's simple to do. Let's look at the shaft here at the top of your backswing, or halfway back. Let's look at that angle, right? That's 64 degrees. What's mine? Mine's probably 45 or 50, 54. So I'm shallower going back. What's my plane coming down? Pretty much dead on. The same exact plane coming down as I go back on. Okay, what is your plane coming down? You go back on 64. Ooh, that's not good. It's steeper going down. And then you're trying to shallow it out. So I'd start with this. Look all the bend in your left leg at impact. I want that straight, and I'm going to fix your backswing position. I want to get the club pointed in a better position. I don't like that. And I want to get the club a little farther back. Power is easy to generate because you already have lag. You don't have any arm speed, you don't have any vertical force, and you don't move your hips very fast. All of which you're capable of doing better. Setup is terrible. That's the worst setup for a good player. Except for maybe Fuzzy Zeller. I'll show you his setup. He's probably about as bad as you. Of course, he won the Masters, but even his setup's better than that. I'd take his setup over yours. Look, his shaft isn't as low as yours. Who in the right mind? Maybe Hubert Green's the only other guy I've ever seen with their hands that low. And he doesn't even play golf anymore. So I would start, 90% of it's in the setup. I would start with that. I'd try to get the club a little more laid off at the top. And you say that can't be done, and I say bullshit. Alright, let's find out what your path is on the flight scope. I want to see, I think your path's probably 5 degrees, maybe 4 degrees into out. But
yeah, I